So, welcome to Maya and Sam on the phone, episode 2. I heard we got a lot of positive feedback from your end about the podcast, so I'm really excited about that. I also got nothing because I don't really use Instagram like that. But we're gonna keep going and yeah, of course, as always, you know how we do, we're gonna start off with our weird ass facts. So I didn't really have a fact, but you know what I thought about? Literally, Hakeem from...
I have a fact.
Oh, okay.
I have a fact this time because I did my homework. And
wow.
I've been on top of things. So...
You know, we're just going to go ahead and show the audience what the hell is really going on behind the scenes. So what she's referring to is the fact that I'm so inefficient that I had to literally cross the high rise 3 times because I forgot my mic on the way over here to record. Yes, it's a process to record this shit. It's a lot. And I have a lot of anxiety going over the high rise. I don't know why. I just have massive, I just have such driving anxiety for some reason because I had a panic attack on the high rise. So that's what she's referring to. And through my own fault, I literally did not pack my shit before I came here. And I had to go back home over the high rise to get it and then come back. And then I tried to avoid the high rise at first. And then I had to get back. It was just a whole process. So yeah. Now you know what's going on. Would you like to continue? I want to hear your fact.
Someone's really stressed out. But
I mean, I'm not really stressed. It's just bitches talk shit. And it's just why? I'm sorry. Are we not friends?
No, we're more... Hi, I'm Maya.
I'm Sam. Let's start over. Hi.
Let's be business partners.
What's your fact?
So my fact is that... Oh, there was an inland hurricane that was a Category 2 storm in Iowa. I feel like a news reporter.
Yeah, you sound like a news reporter. Would you like to have your fucking geography fucking display?
As you can see.
What do they call that shit?
An inland hurricane?
No, I mean the fucking thing that the news reporters use. Fuck it, it's not important. But anyway.
Screen.
No. It's okay, I don't remember what it is. Was that it?
Yes, and it was bad, and it fucked up some shit, and that's the fact.
Oh.
And that's it. I didn't know inland hurricanes were a thing, but...
Inland hurricanes? What is that even, what does that entail?
They're just, they're storms that are, just basically hurricanes, but just on land, which is weird because, hurricanes form over water.
Yeah.
But, something about, the circulation of, how it moves or whatever the fuck, but... yeah, it wasn't really on the news because I guess no one wanted to cover that except the people in the area. But
this
yeah,
is in Iowa, right?
I saw it on my friend's Instagram story. She put it on her story at 1:00 when I was eating my pasta that I made.
I'm gonna get that pasta. I'm gonna get it. But also not nobody caring about the hurricane in Iowa.
No one covered that story. Also, yeah, no, I feel bad.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Because the picture that I saw was this, the grain silos and the corn holding
I don't pay attention to geography like that or land masses. I don't know. Whatever you're referring to, I don't pay attention to that.
It's an object, though.
Really?
Yes.
So
a granary. You see pictures of farms and it's just a little house, a big tall.
Oh, you talking about the shit with the huge oh shit, I hit the mic. The shit with the huge grain and all that.
I'm hitting the mic.
So I'm not gonna jostle the mic like I did the last time. We're gonna move on.
It's off to a really great start.
Off to a great start. You're talking about the huge grain,
Yeah. I saw the picture was just though.
And that's geography, but anyways.
I know, right? Fucking plateau. But anyway, it was 5 of those, and they were just bust open and messed up.
Oh, I really hate to see that for them.
Yeah,
I really hate.
I'm also concerned because I'm pretty sure we need that. That's the country's
Oh, food supply.
I mean, it's not all of it, but I mean, I feel that's a pretty big loss later, or a slight loss. I don't know how much.
I mean, just add that to the list of shit that we're going through here in America that people just don't pay attention to and don't really care about. Yeah. But anyways, also I did not know. So this is my fact. I did not know that Hakeem from Moesha died.
What?
I did not know he died. And apparently he's not the only one that died. Do you know? We was watching together. Do you remember when I think do you know who Ohaji is?
No.
Okay, well, Ohaji is like Moesha's like, he was like her first crush or whatever, and like he also died. And then I found an article online that's like, oh yeah, there's like a curse from like the Moesha show because like 4 characters from the show have died since it stopped airing. So yeah.
I wonder why.
See, I really don't want the facts to turn into like just tragedy. Like, let's start the podcast off with tragedy. You know what I mean? You get it. But anyways, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I would hate to be on like a cursed show though, because you know, like people on the set, Exorcist. You know how they say like the Exorcist movie like was cursed and like people died, and then I think Superman, like the role of Superman is also cursed. Like the people that play Superman like always like kind of die. Henry Cavill's still alive, but current Superman. Context clues.
So, yeah, I don't be watching movies like that.
Is he okay?
I am fine. I just don't be watching movies.
He's like the current Superman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't watch Superman either. Like, I didn't watch Man of Steel or
But you know, like, I don't pay attention to, like, who acts and stuff. So, like, when you said Henry Cavill, I was like, who the fuck is that?
Oh, well, yeah, he's current Superman. He's alive. But, yeah, it's weird when, like, sets, like, I think Poltergeist was cursed, too. Like, it's weird when, like, sets and, like, roles are cursed. Cause it's, like, hate to be that person that was just working there, especially if he was, like, there because you needed some money and, like, all of a sudden, like, wasps attacking you and shit.
Yeah.
It's just, like, what's going on?
Yeah. I would hate that, too. And then, you know, I have anxiety, so I would be like, I don't...
No, like, one person died, you're like, oh, my God, it's a set curse. Like,
is this curse? Like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And me, like, talking to my mom for spiritual guidance. Like, what's gonna happen, Mom? What do you see in your dreams? Like, real Caribbean shit. You know what I mean?
Yo, real Caribbean shit.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, so, look, you told me that you want to talk about these chopsticks.
Bitch, let's talk about these chopsticks.
So,
an issue.
For everybody who don't know what we're talking about, on Twitter, there has been, like, this debate about, like, oh, you know, like, a lot of Black folks feel like online that, you know, they don't understand why the Asian community is mad about the whole chopsticks in their hair thing. And they are like, I feel like we can put chopsticks in our hair. Like, I don't understand why they're so mad about it. And the Asian people are like, it's offensive. It's, like, culturally inappropriate. This is that and the third. And I think it all, like, stemmed from a TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. Or, like, there were, like, TikTok comments or some shit like that. And so, like, some dude made some TikTok and he was like, oh, yeah, because, you know, we keep telling you guys that it's inappropriate and you guys, like, just say fuck us. And, like, how do you expect us to fight for you when you don't respect us? And
he
I
said
was just
that?
like, yeah, like, this dude on TikTok said it and it went viral. It had, like, 244K retweets. And I was just like, you said nothing. Like, I didn't hear, that made no noise for me. But I wanted to, like, ask you your opinion because I saw something interesting. Like, I saw somebody say, like, well, Black people don't have, like, this, like, history of, like, anti-Black, like, policies and ideologies and, like, racist systems, like, within, like, their countries, like, in Africa. And I know for me, when I went to Ghana, I was able to see firsthand, like, okay, you know, China also has, like, an influence on the infrastructure and, like, the architecture there. But they also steal from, like, their, like, natural resources and deprives a lot of the people that live there. But, so a lot of people are like, we don't do that type of shit to y'all. So, like, you really got to be tripping if you think I'm going to give a fuck about wearing chopsticks in my hair. Like, it's just not that serious. And honestly, like, I see where they're coming from when they say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I want to say. I'm not going to go out and, like, wear traditional, like, Chinese or Japanese or whatever garb or garm or whatever the word is. But, because I feel like that's stupid and I don't like to look stupid if I don't know the cultural significance. But I understand why people are like, I mean, y'all literally, like, tell y'all, like, children not to date us and y'all literally are racist and, like, pride yourself sometimes on being the minority. So I wanted to know, like, what your take on that is because you are mixed.
Okay, first of all, yes.
Yes. Yes.
I really don't like the argument of, like, I don't like the argument of, like, y'all are doing this, so, like, you know, we can't support you because, like, you want to wear a kimono to a Halloween party. It's like, don't wear the kimono, okay?
Yeah.
Don't wear the kimono. Please don't wear chopsticks in your hair. It's stupid. But
I thought it depended on what type they were, though.
No one wears chopsticks in their hair in Asia ever. So chopsticks are for eating. There's like stores that they sell chopsticks. There's stores where they sell hairpins. Hairpins might look like chopsticks because they're sticks and they put them in your hair. They're usually more ornamental and they're longer and thinner. And they don't look like chopsticks. And they're not chopsticks. Don't buy a fucking pair of red chopsticks from the store. Put them in your hair. You look stupid. And it's not really like that. It's not like cultural appropriation because like we don't do that. So you're not like it's not like you putting on a kimono or like traditional.
So is it something that's kind of unique to maybe Black women?
No, because white women do that too. Hillary Duff wore chopsticks in her hair in like the 90s.
Oh, okay.
People have been doing that. It's like if anything, it's like a caricature of like an Asian thing. Like I guess someone saw like women with like sticks in their hair and was like, oh, those look like chopsticks. I see chopsticks. Let me put that in my hair. And that's probably how that whole thing started. I don't really think anyone's like that pissed about it, but like don't wear chopsticks in your hair because you just look stupid. Chopsticks are for eating, and it's also disrespectful to put like, it's like you putting a fork in your hair. Don't do that shit. It's just stupid. But that being said, I don't like people who are like, yeah, you put like, you know, the chopsticks in your hair, and so like how am I supposed to support Black Lives Matter if you don't like respect?
Yeah, I see that, and I'm just like, okay, if that's your attitude, then don't do it at all. Like, I feel like you should be standing up for people because of it's what's right.
It's a weak argument. It's a weak argument. It's like it's just like the feeblest, weakest, stupidest argument. But I will say, like, I did see people being like, yeah, we're gonna put these chopsticks in our hair though because, you know, the Asians hate us and shit. I'm like, bro, just don't put the chopsticks in your hair. Like, the Asians are problematic. Asians can be problematic, I should say. And there's a lot of anti-Blackness there with that. The whole model minority thing is a thing, and it sucks. And it's a problem that I feel like I've seen more and more like young Asian Americans like talking about and like kind of confronting like stuff, because it's usually parents and stuff who are like, hey, like we have to appear to be like the model minority and like, you know, Black people are a problem, so, you know, stay away from them. And like that's racist, and it turns into it's racist.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But at the same time, I definitely, the same way I don't agree with like, hey, like if you put chopsticks in your hair, like how am I supposed to like care about like the death of Black people in this country? It's just like
over chopsticks.
Really over though? Chopsticks. It's like, also like, but it's also in reverse. Like, don't be like, yeah, I'm gonna put on this kimono because, you know, Asians is anti-Black. It's just like everybody just respect the cultural values of what's going on. It just is that simple. We can respect cultural values, and we can address real problems: anti-Blackness, colorism, homophobia.
Yeah. It's like a lot of times I feel like people can't have conversations at the same time, or they feel like they can't do things like walk and chew gum at the same time.
There's no need to tie in like the two things. It's like you can easily not wear chopsticks in your hair, and you can easily discuss if you wanted to, like an Asian American, like, yeah, why are you so anti-Black though? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I always felt like, okay, like, I understand where they're coming from, but you're not about to catch me like out there like wearing that shit because I feel like I have no connection to that.
It's just stupid.
So it just doesn't make sense for me. Like, and so like when I see people like Asian Doll who like, you know, I like some of her music and stuff like that, it's just like, you know, you don't even know what half of that shit means. Like I feel like, I don't know that lady life, but I feel like you first of all named yourself Asian Doll and like kind of attached yourself to Asian culture before like you really did extensive research, and we can tell, like, it's kind of obvious. Like, we know what it is kind of like to market yourself and sell records and shit like that. But it's like you don't know what that is. And so, like, it doesn't make sense to, like, keep on doing that because it's like, unless you're really going to, like, gain a relationship with the culture, but then even then, certain things are just not for you to participate in. But I hate that, though, because it's kind of like, I feel like once like certain minorities or like Asians or like whoever it is, like they see like Black people like trying to take part in their culture, they're like, well, okay, well, like we own y'all shit too, and like y'all can't get mad when we like, you know, do stuff like that's in y'all culture, and it's just like it doesn't work the same. Like we're all confused here, and we all need to get educated.
We all need to not.
We all need to not. Like we all really just need to not. I just feel like for me, everybody should just leave their own culture like alone. Like everybody should just go by themselves and like participate in your own culture. Leave everybody else's culture alone,
Right.
and just that's all you have to do is mind your business. Like if you don't understand it, don't.
I will also say, if you like the look of chopsticks in your hair, go buy some kanzashi, hair sticks, put them in your hair.
Yeah. I feel like it's as easy as that. Like, don't buy no fucking like take out chopsticks and put that shit in your hair. Like,
that's just also nasty.
Yeah, it's just not giving when it comes to that. So like, yeah. But they was really having a debate about them chopsticks for a long time, and I had always kind of like understood both sides of the argument. Well, not what that fucking dude was talking about. We were talking about some, oh yeah, we're not gonna like march for you in the street. It's like, okay, so since I wore chopsticks, now all of a sudden police brutality is okay.
Baby, you're just anti-black.
You're just anti-black, and like I feel like it's niggas like that. Like you couldn't wait to jump out and say some shit like that, and I feel like it only exposes who you are. But I hate when it gets like such a large cosign, and that like really reminds me of like how like I feel like a lot of black people themselves don't understand that like racism doesn't work the same for us. Like you can be prejudiced, but you can't really be racist because it doesn't really make sense. And so like they be trying to look at racism like it's like this black and white kind of thing. And I'm like, I feel like we'll elevate when we all as a collective realize that it's not as simple as like you try to make it. Like just because a black person doesn't like white people, like it's not really the same as like a white person not liking black people. Because a lot of times when black people don't like white people, it's because of certain experiences that they had in like the media. So that's kind of like what I want them to understand. It's not right, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? I wish we would kind of like get over that too. And like, speaking of which.
Wait. No, back to like what you said about Asian doll being Asian doll though. So there was that debate about the chopsticks. At the same time, a debate was starting about light-skinned Keisha and mulatto.
I was just about to talk about that.
So,
I'm glad you brought that shit up because I've been dying to talk about it.
So basically, we talked about mulatto last week.
Yeah.
So mulatto is like a biracial black and white girl who's a rapper. When she's like starting to come up, she was in the
light skin Keisha may just be black but light skin. I'm not sure if she's like mixed.
Pretty sure she's just light skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, she could be mixed. You never know.
You never know.
So,
but you know, mulatto was in the Wet Ass Pussy video, so you know that was cool. But her name is Mulatto, and me and Sam talked about this on the phone, literally
on the phone. Anyways.
No, we talked about it off the air, on the phone, and like Sam was basically like, you know, how do you feel about Mulatto's name? And at first I was just like, I mean, stage name, like whatever. But there was a good point about how mulatto is literally like a slur that was used in like the...
Back in the day. Yeah.
So there's this whole tragic mulatto trope on like in film and TV where the mulatto was the white people in Hollywood painted out like my biracial women to be like the tragic mulatto. It's like, oh, like they're like better than black because they're mixed with white, but like they can't really be white because unfortunately they're mixed with black. And so the mulatto in the film was always like this fucking like caught between two crossroads, like fucking like identity crisis having woman who's usually like crying. Because there's that movie about the pancake lady. About Aunt Jemima. I can't remember what the name of the movie is, but basically it's a white woman. She's like super nice, and there's a black lady and her daughter. Her daughter's mixed, who's a mulatto, and they move in and like she takes the pancake recipe and makes an empire out of it. And, like the black woman's just like, oh, it's okay. Like I just like to be here and like make pancakes with you. And it's a problematic film, but it's interesting because the mulatto girl, her daughter, was having this whole other issue of just like not fucking with her mom because she was black, and she was mad because like she was passing, and one time her mom showed up to her classroom, everyone found out she was black, and it was this whole issue, and then she was dating someone who was a white man, he found out she was black, and like it was a whole issue with that. So anyway, tragic mulatto trope. And so because of that, I feel like you know, having your name, it's like kind of like having your name being like nigger.
Yeah,
It's like
definitely.
y'all heard that new nigger. You don't want white people saying like, "Do you listen to mulatto?" Because it's like kind of
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, and I mean, I think it really all depends on what she's comfortable with. Like, sweetheart, if you're comfortable with that, I guess. But I think what she's gonna have to realize is that when you get real popping, because she's getting there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, um, she's like becoming increasingly mainstream. She just did a record with Gucci Mane, and you know that's really popping. I think in like Atlanta, and so you know she's starting to get up there, and like more and more people are starting to mention her name. But I have to just clear my throat a little bit. You know, I'm just really getting spicy with the conversation.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Ooh. Anyways, so she's getting up there, and I think what she's gonna have to realize is that, in my opinion, I feel like your stage name or the name that you chose for yourself, it's bigger than you. Like, I think that as much as I understand you trying to flip it into like trying to like almost kind of like reclamation, like okay, we say my nigga because we was called that or like we're called that in society, so like we call each other that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that like that's kind of like a way we kind of like take power away from the word. Some people choose not to use it, some people choose to. But I feel like it would be different for me to have that as a stage name because I'm not having white people call me nigga. Like I'm not doing it. Like you're not gonna introduce me as Mr. Nigga and then I'm gonna take the stage and like spit rhymes and y'all are gonna be like nigga, nigga. Like nah. Like that's like a nightmare from like that's
some
my
Twilight Zone shit,
like,
bro.
Literally. So I think what she has to realize is that it's a bit bigger than you, and I think she should, like she kind of like recommended people to do on Twitter, like change her name to Big Lotto because I feel like mulatto, whether you like it or not, is a slur, and I just feel like I'm all for artistic expression and I'm all for you taking back your power, and I understand mixed identities are like a bit complicated. You know, I came a long way from just thinking that y'all just got everything and y'all were privileged. But
no, we are.
They are privileged, but there's like a weird shit that I don't have to deal with. Like I don't gotta worry about who gonna fuck with me. I kind of know, like, okay, black people probably gonna fuck with me, not because I'm gay though, but because of my skin. And white people not. But y'all got to deal with like, okay, my culture, I'm not really accepted in this one, and I'm not really accepted in that one fully. So it's like a weird intersection there, and like, I wouldn't want that, especially with my fucking own issues. So, but I think she should realize that like it's bigger than you. Like, you should just change the name. I don't feel like it's that serious. Now, light skinned Keisha, on the other hand,
that's for me. Okay, somebody said that I'm not on their side either. I'm just saying. Somebody was like, in my neighborhood, my name was like fucking like Chandra, and there was like a dark skinned Chandra, and there was like a fat Chandra, and there was like I was the light skinned Chandra, so niggas was like when they say Chandra, so in order for you to know who they was talking about, you would just be like light skinned Chandra, and so like that's light skinned Keisha apparently was like that's why my name is Keisha, also like off of some show or some shit that she like watching. So that was her reasoning for it. But then other people were like, yeah, but I guess it's divisive just because, like, I don't think they themselves are, you know, her name is not light skinned Keisha because she wants to be like, I'm light skinned Keisha. Like, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think she does.
Yeah, and I don't think mulatto either is like.
At first I did though, before I knew who that was. I was like, who the fuck
no,
is this
bitch,
girl calling herself
the
light
name,
skinned Keisha?
the name is weird, alright? The name is weird.
We're gonna get to it. But anyways, continue.
But I don't think that like I don't think that, you know, she was out here just what was I saying? Oh, I don't think mulatto either was on this wave of just like, you know, I'm biracial. So I don't think so either. But then the question was that wasn't the question. The question was like, does it perpetuate certain like colorism? Like, does it perpetuate colorism? And I feel like yeah.
It does.
Because, you know, somebody was just saying it's divisive because, you know.
It's just like, it's the same thing when like, is Michael Blackson, is that his real name?
I think so.
Is it really?
I think so.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. I thought he like did that on purpose because he was dark skinned.
I can look it up.
It's kind of like, okay, you know what kind of blow me? When niggas on Twitter or like on Instagram, like, and they dark skinned, they have like the gorilla emoji in like in their, like their bio, and I'd be like, I know you're trying your hardest to love yourself, but that ain't it. But I feel like it's along those same lines. Like,
That nigga's name, I think, is Michael Blackson.
okay, no shade. I'm sorry. Your name is Michael Blackson. I didn't know. That must be just very ironic.
Sorry, Michael Blackson.
Sorry, Michael Blackson. I appreciate. I mean, I don't really know your shit, but you're a human
I
being.
know you're. He's a comment. He's from
good.
Ghana.
Sure. Let's go with that.
All right.
Yeah. So, anyways, like, I just feel like it draws attention to something that doesn't really show us like your personality. Like, I'm not like, if I call myself like something that has to do with like my brown skin, it feels like I'm looking for attention to that or trying to draw attention to the fact that I'm brown skin. And it's just kind of like, why does that even matter?
Yeah, because somebody made a good point. They were like, well, you know, there was someone that was saying light skin Keisha is just an identifier, but it's like, you're not in your neighborhood anymore. This is like your stage name. And plus, like, even if that was your identity, it's like, you know, you can tell certain jokes with your friends, but you can't go in front of people you don't know and be like telling the same jokes, because like among your friends, you know the context and like the inside joke and the history and like why it's being said. But like when you come in front of people who don't know you, you can't just suddenly just say some out like different shit, because that's not funny to them maybe, and you don't know what their opinions are. So it's the same thing. It's like also like light skin Keisha might just be an identifier, but you know, it's not. We all know like the history of why.
Yeah. And to act like you don't know the history is like, come on, don't be obtuse. You know what's going on in this, like, I hate you for that. Don't you know what's going on like in these streets when it comes to dark skinned women and colorism and like the industry not really accepting them? And I just kind of feel like that's where like you as a light skinned person needs to understand that it's not about you, and like you have to understand that like you're supposed to use your privilege to like uplift other people. And I feel like that's just an example of you being ignorant to your privilege. You know what I mean? Like, and so when people like Mulatto and Light Skin Keisha have those types of stage names, it's like, okay, I understand there might be a different story for you, but you have to understand for other people. Because I feel like we're in America, we're so used to, we talked about this, I feel like maybe last week. We're so used to everything is about you. Like, you don't live in a community, I feel like. We just like, oh, well, everything about me, so what I do don't got nothing to do with everybody else. And it's like, sometimes it does. Like, coronavirus, we all should probably be staying home and, like, not going out and, like, and wearing masks and shit like that. I'm going to do that every episode because I feel like niggas be trying to pretend like it just don't exist. So, fuck that. No, like, I feel like, you know, like, we all live in community with each other, and, like, that's one thing that I feel like people forget. It's like sometimes it really isn't just about you. Like, even though it's your life and we don't pay your bills, like when you touch that many people with your music, you got to think about the things that you do. And so it's a hard job, but you really got to sit down and think about what image you're presenting to the world.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, that's the plight of an entertainer. Like, you got to figure out the balance and like what you can do and what you're comfortable with and shit like that. And I feel for her because it's like Mulatto, especially because I feel like when I see her, I feel like she really cares about black people, and she is black, obviously, but the community is like, sis, the name, we would fuck with you, but the name, can we change the name? And she's just like, y'all don't get it, and y'all calling me colorist, and fuck that shit, but if you want to, call me Big Lotto, like, I don't give a fuck, like, y'all don't understand why I flipped it. And it's just like,
it's like, I understand why, and it's just unfortunately like you're a public figure and so things like that. So it's like your friends could still call you Mulatto.
Yeah, they could still call you that.
If I know you, you can still be Mulatto, like, you know what I'm saying?
But I would officially change it to Big Lotto.
Like, but do you really? Because it's like, you know, like, we reclaim the word nigga, right? Because you got niggas in the streets going, what's up, nigga? And like all this shit.
Yeah.
So, but like it's different when all of a sudden like fucking Tom from Hardee's comes up to you and it's like, what's up, nigga? It's like,
why are they automatically white?
It's like, you're not reclaim. It's not reclamation anymore. Nigga he just called it, like, he's white and he called you nigga. So it's like, it's like if you and your biracial friends, or like you and like your black friends want to call each other mulatto and all this shit, if y'all are mulatto or you want to call her mulatto, like, that's one thing in itself. But like, if you become this public figure and you start having a white audience, because you will.
Mm-hmm. You probably already do.
Yeah, Asian audience, Asian audience, Arab audience, white audience, Native American? Do you want all these other people that are not mulattoes calling you mulatto? It's just, I mean, I guess if she don't care, but I'm just like, the optics of it, it's always the optics of it.
Yeah.
I think to black people, because we're sensitive about those types of things, obviously.
As we should be.
So, and everyone's pretty sensitive about that type of shit too. It's just like, you know, don't call me no Jap. Like, fuck wrong with you.
Yeah.
So.
Or the O word. No, she always shits on me about that because, like, she, like,
Nigga
anyways,
called me Oriental,
I
yo.
did not call... See, you're gonna get me fucked up on the internet, and I'm not having... I did not call her that. She started saying shit like that and was like, oh, yeah, this is what you're calling me. I'm like, no, I'm not. And she was like, anyway.
We're not gonna get into it.
We're not gonna get into it,
but
don't use the O word.
But don't, you know, it's just like, if you're cool, you and your friends are cool saying a certain thing, but it's not for everybody. So it's just like the optics of it, black people especially, or like anybody really, it's just kind of like, why are you allowing people to say it's for you or, you know, for us, but not the optics of it. But what time is it? Because I never hit record on my thing.
I never hit the timer.
I'm gonna leave this in because now it's funny.
I never hit the timer. I'm sorry. I you know, today was not the best of days for me. I've been dropping the ball, but you know what? Fuck it. I mean, we all have our days, and everybody has those days. Everybody makes mistakes.
You can't just Hannah Montana your way out of this shit, yo. Like, you can't do it.
Why can't you let me?
You can't do it.
Why can't you let me?
Fuck you thought this was.
Anyways, we're gonna do like the fucking transition.
Ooh. And we're back.
We are, in fact, back. So,
we be having technical difficulties every once in a while, but once we like figure it out, we will figure it out and it'll be fine.
And it'll be fire.
So no one questioned why half of my face is just not in the video for the first part. Probably should have checked it, but it's a different camera.
I mean, fuck it. We're young. We like make excuses.
It's a different camera. It's fine.
We're like young and we're like vibrant. You know what I mean? Like we just have like this energy and like, you know, sometimes it's volatile. And I feel like people will understand that when they watch it, like when they listen to it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we have like a young feel. So yeah. But anyway, I have something that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, really? Why? The way these mail-in ballots are set up.
No, honestly, like, that's why when I did mine, I was like, I'm going to have it mailed to me. I'm not going to, like, ask for an electronic one because apparently they can't even, like, they'll, like, fill it out for you and send it out. I'm like, I know. I did a paper on this in college. You remember that shit? It was trash as fuck. But I did a paper on this in college, and I really, like, the election system is just, like, fraud. And I just don't trust them. And I just feel like there are people behind the scenes that are trying to keep that man in power. But anyways, I just don't understand, like, why people are so against Kamala Harris with all the trash that runs the country right now. Like, people are like, I've just seen so many people online be like, oh, like, Kamala Harris is just like, you know, she was a prosecutor and and it's just kind of like, okay, first of all, stop whining because it's life or death for a lot of the blacks, okay? Blacks, yes, blacks. You know why I can say that? Because I'm black. But it's life and death for a lot of us black folks, and I feel like it's just time to suck it up. Like, yes, we know she was a criminal prosecutor. Yes, we don't trust ops. Yes, we don't trust police. No, we don't fuck with 12. But Kamala Harris is like the bitten apple on top of the giant pile of garbage that is everything else that we are like that we're given as an option. Like, it's either Trump, which is literally the garbage truck, or Kamala, which is like that little nasty ass apple that like somebody didn't really want, but they just like threw in the trash. So I just feel like I'm gonna choose the apple because I'm not going to try to swallow a garbage truck. And I don't like. I understand that, like, you know, she's done some shady shit. I feel like people should be aware that, you know, she at first, like, she's kind of like, she'd be like going where the tide goes. Like, at first she didn't really support legal marijuana, the legalization of marijuana, and then now all of a sudden, like, she supports it and like she's all for it. She's definitely like the classic politician. She definitely fought to like uphold wrongful convictions, and she definitely fought for like people who had like excessively truant kids. Like no matter what the situation was, she wanted them to be like convicted or thrown in jail and shit like that. And I see that, but I'm still gonna vote for her. You know why? Because there's a certain level of competence there that needs to be there in order for the country to be ran. And so I'm going to choose the least of all evils. And like Angela Davis said, like we need to have the institution in place that will allow us to make the change necessary in the country. And so you hate to see it, but that is Kamala Harris, and incompetent as as Joe Biden. And that's just it. And I just wish people would kind of just wrap that up and fucking go vote. Like, I don't understand why I see people that are just mad as fuck about that. I'm like, literally, let it go. We know who she is. We know who he is. But we also know who Trump is. And Trump is not somebody you want to lead the country. Why? Because you will die. We are all dying. We are all suffering because this man is in office and he did not do what he was supposed to do when the virus was introduced into this country. And so we all have to suffer now. And if we had... Anyways, I'm going to let you, like... What do you... Because I'm just... And her foot is on my knee. Do you crave intimacy?
I got bored.
Not you getting bored about the country. I hate you
I'm kidding.
so much.
I'm kidding. I don't know too much.
She told the truth. Go ahead, talk. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I don't know too much about her because I didn't really pay attention when she first was running for office. I just know about like how she fought to keep somebody was on death row and like she withheld the evidence that would have exonerated them or something like that.
Yeah, she's definitely shiesty.
And trans people, that was the whole thing. And I heard she's just a politician, just does some shit that's just not right. But nevertheless, I agree with what you said because she definitely at least seems like someone that you can sway because she does that sort of like for it, not for it thing. I guess like
she's like a snake to me that's been defanged. So it's like it's still a snake.
It's still a snake.
But it won't kill you like a cobra will.
Hopefully not. I hope, but because you have no idea what she will do when she's actually like in office working under Biden. But I will say that like at least for now I feel like the immediate issue is the coronavirus and like I guess the state of the economy, and those things affect all American people. And so I think that Biden and Kamala will probably work hard to at least fix that. And then all the stuff that affects minorities specifically, I don't know really what she will do. I
doubt that she will do
or
much.
He will do.
Yeah, I doubt that they will do much. I feel like they're just going to kind of get in there and just kind of like, all right, we're going to kind of work to patch up some of these holes in the sinking ship that is America.
Yeah, just because, like, Black people are part of the American people, and, like, if the American people are suffering, then Black people are, like, suffering twice as much. And so, like, I would just like to at least get the American people, and by that, I mean, like, white people, but would like to get that straight, and then so like we will be slightly more straight because like the economy is a mess and there's like coronavirus and just all this stuff happening that's affecting everybody, and like the lack of stimulus checks and all this bullshit that affects everybody, and then like Black people who are just by like statistics doing less well than that in certain instances is just getting hit twice as hard. So it's just like let's like get them.
Let's get somebody competent in office. Like,
yeah.
I would just like to see it for me. I would like to feel safe. And with Trump in office, I don't feel safe. I feel very vulnerable. I feel like I'm just waiting on like the drone strikes from other countries, even though that probably won't happen. But I'm just waiting for drone strikes from other countries to just like hit everywhere because we're just so like frazzled. I feel like we're like an ant pile that's been disturbed. I've been using a lot of analogies. Don't know why, but they're just kind of coming out. And so we're going to go with that. But yeah, I just feel like I want to be able to I can't with him in office.
Cannot.
So let's just get him out of there. We know who Kamala is. It's okay. Just take a deep breath, like I have to do when I'm having a panic attack. and release.
Yeah.
And then you're good. And that's it.
I agree.
Also, there's like tons of fish washing up on the shore in Florida because there's no oxygen in the water. And I know you're like an environmentalist, so it's just like, you know.
Wait. Okay. So I'm so happy.
Puts hands up. Yeah, yes. Go ahead. It's your turn, Timmy. Go ahead.
No.
Show
Okay.
class.
So Sam finally watched a Ghibli movie, and I'm so excited. This is like the most animated I've ever been. But I was really excited because Sam finally watched a Ghibli movie with me and Jordan. We watched Nausicaa and the battle. Yeah, Nausicaa and the
Village of the Wind?
Valley of the Wind.
Valley of the Wind.
Valley of the Wind. And so let's hear your thoughts, Sam. How was it? First Ghibli movie, one of the first ones made, or like the one that like put him on map? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think it was very well done. I think it was I was impressed with the animation for it being like in the 70s. I was like, oh, I didn't know y'all really had this like that.
No, Sam really was like, I don't know, like, don't want to watch those old ass like movies because
I don't know why I'm
Sam
like
thought the animation was gonna be like
and it wasn't, and I definitely was mistaken.
Smooth and colorful.
I
and
definitely was mistaken on that.
Landscape
it was not bad, and I should have definitely given it a chance.
Plots.
It was good. It was really good.
Development.
He really cares about the environment, and I kind of wish more people would have watched the movie because you would realize like so essentially if you haven't watched the movie is essentially about like all about the environment. Hence why you brought it up because I was talking about the fish, but it's all about the environment, and you know there's like this toxic forest full of like dangerous insects, and they like release spores and shit like that. But all of the toxicity comes really from the pollution because, you know, mankind cannot figure out how to stop killing where they live. And we have a tendency to like shit where we eat. So it's like, hey, let's stop doing that. Let's actually care about our oceans and recycle. And I mean, it's not telling you to recycle, but it's like, you know, let's actually work with the planet instead of against it. And I thought it was really good. I definitely want to watch some more Studio Ghibli movies, I guess. And I guess when he comes out with his new movie in 2023, I'll be there to watch it.
But you know what you won't be there to watch it on? Kiss Anime. You know why?
No, Kiss Anime really went poof. Like,
bro.
No warning.
Destroy it.
It's gone. Like,
no, me and Michael,
it
was so funny because I was with my friend Michael, and he was like, what was he doing? He was trying to show me something, and he was like, you know, that doesn't work anymore. And he was like, yo, like, wait, what? And he like looked it up, and he was like, wait, it's really gone. Like, they just destroyed it. And it's just like, yeah.
Anime is really done. It's really over. I know a lot of you are really sad right now because you have like a lot of memories with that website, but
Kiss Anime had everything.
Did it really?
Yes. Kiss Anime had like the obscure shit that like you couldn't really find. There's of course granted other websites that have it, but you know Kiss Anime was really like a go-to spot. Yes, it was annoying because they started doing this thing where they were like, hey, like we don't know if you're a robot, so like, you know, can you click 3 and the girl wearing blue? And that was annoying.
Click 3 and the girl wearing blue.
They'd be like, hey, click everything that's a crosswalk in this picture. And sometimes you get it wrong because the quality is really bad and you can't really see what's a crosswalk and what's not. It's also like what constitutes a crosswalk. It's like that little like white.
No, it's all, I hate those shits because it's all bullshit. Like they'd be like, click on the traffic lights. And like there are no traffic lights. It's just like the traffic signal machine, whatever the fuck it is. And so you just have to click on that and then it's like verified. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, no, I did one yesterday because I was trying to see if Kiss Asian, where it's like that's the drama channel where you can watch all the like K dramas and J dramas.
Kiss Asian.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm not Asian, so I mean, you know, if it doesn't bother you.
Kiss Asian has all the Asian dramas, so I had to make sure that was still up and running. And there was definitely like, hey, like click everything that's a jet. And there was like a jet in the background, like a little like tail fin or whatever the fuck. And I clicked it and I guess I got it wrong. And I was just like, I mean, that was there. I guess y'all didn't think it counted, but I mean, I thought it, so it's just like, you know, that's ag. I hate the like CAPTCHA like things. But
yeah. Hey, you want to know something funny? So why is my computer not recording?
You know, the day started with Sam saying he would come to my house at 1:00. Then he didn't come until 5 because he forgot the mic at home. The mic that he wanted to keep at his house for like no fucking reason. And then here we are. So
what now?
I mean, I'm still here. I'm still talking. I'm here. This is Maya.
This is Maya talking.
This is Maya on the phone with herself.
I could have sworn that I like pressed the button, and I just did not press the button. All right. So, anyways, so where did we leave off at?
We left off at technical difficulties all around. At episode 2's name is clearly Standby.
Technical, like. I can't even. Like, I just have to push through. It's just...
You gotta push through. We're gonna dye his hair purple, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I think that will be the highlight of the day for me.
Yeah. Oh, God. I have to go home with that shit. I wonder what my dad...
I mean, y'all don't see each other, so...
No, we do. Enough to where, like... But I'm grown, like...
It's just purple hair. It's not even like a lavender, like a gay-ass purple, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a
gay-ass purple.
Gay purple! No, we were definitely having this conversation yesterday about how, like, I feel like society has labeled certain things gay as, like, half a joke, but also, like, also a way to detect if people are gay. So it's, like, we were talking about, like, how, like, men will, like, maybe, like, once in their lifetime, like, accidentally do this to, like, one of their homies or something. And then, like...
For people who are, like, listening, she just, like, hit my leg or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, like... be like, or something, and niggas is like, yeah, that's like kind of fucking gay to do. And it's like, it's not really gay. The only things that are really gay is like, you know, liking men, fucking men, kissing men, being turned on by men.
And I was saying, like, I was telling her, I was like, I feel like one thing that we really miss in in society, in American society, and the way that we engage with one another is just the fact of like men are allowed to like share certain forms of intimacy. And, like, that's healthy, and I feel like we don't really get the chance to, like, access that, especially, like, from my experiences being in the Black community. Like, we're not really taught that, like, you're supposed to do shit like that. Like, you're supposed to be, like, if it's not, like...
It's like you're limited to a certain, like, level, like, certain range of behaviors and actions and words before it's like, whoa there. Like,
and it's like, you know, obviously for me, I can't fuck with that because that's just not, like, who I am. I don't really care about... what you like. One biggest issue that I always have with my dad is like he's always like he gets upset because I'm not like the traditional guy that like he grew up with, like grew up around, and I'm just like I'm not that, and I'm like a bit different, but you just got to deal with that. And like you hate to see it, but I'm not gonna be like this macho muscular like man. Like I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about other shit. And it is what it is, and I don't understand sometimes why we can't just understand that there's always going to be a variety within a group of people. Like, there's going to be differences of, like, you know, appearances and personalities and, you know, quirks and shit like that. And, like, this is just who I am. Like, there's so many different men out there, and there's not one way that we should all be. That doesn't even fucking make sense.
Yeah, niggas really trying to like manufacture like ready-made like
that's actually the perfect
uniform
thing. They try to like literally like make us all in factories, and if you don't come out like the perfect like on some Captain America type shit, like if you don't come out like Captain America, like super muscular, like you can say that you got this deep ass voice and you be like with the shits when it comes.
You're also charismatic and you hold doors open for women.
Yeah, and you like love women. I mean,
but you don't love women too much.
Yeah, you don't love women too much. They're only baby factories and fleshlights, and that you have to like kind of like you know talk to a certain way so that they don't get angry at you. Remember?
Yeah. No, it's like you have to be like this perfect like alpha male person.
Yeah.
Everything else is just fucking gay, bro.
Everything is just fucking gay.
Sugar gay, dude.
Sugar fucking gay. Like everything else is just fucking gay. And Like, if you do that gay shit, then we ain't fucking with you. And you can't be in the clique because you gay and we don't fuck with that gay shit. And it's like, nigga, y'all wear Gucci belts and like Louis Vuitton and shit like that. Like, y'all the gayest niggas out here. Like, y'all idolize that type of shit. Y'all listen to these rappers that be down low. Y'all listen to these rappers that wear designer shit. Y'all listen to these rappers that are oftentimes styled by gay people. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, if you don't, like, and even like the straight people who are like, have you seen the new TikTok shit where it's like there's this new trend of femboys, and I know like so many queer people are looking at that like I want to like slice my own throat because
it's like,
what is this?
you can be femme, but like you can't be like a gay femme. It's just like, bro.
I'd be confused. I'm like, what?
I mean, that's funny though, because it's like people will still be like, I feel like what isn't accepted is like ever changing all the time, but like I feel like the actually being gay part, it's like, yeah, like don't touch your friend's legs, but because that's gay.
Yeah,
but it's also just like, you know, men can like put on nail polish on like one finger and like
to the point where like men see like black fathers like with their kids, or like just fathers with their kids, and like them like maybe like kissing on them or hugging them and stuff like that. And
which is
like,
slowly starting to get more and more
yeah.
accepted, because people were like at first trying to be like, that shit fucking weird. But and that shit is funny because that shit is getting more and more accepted. But I feel like the actual being gay part is also still like not everybody's cup of tea. Which is funny because like you have boys that like do their nails now, but they can still be homophobic.
Yeah. And I think it's getting a little bit better.
Yeah, no, it is.
A smidge.
I think it's helping because boys can kind of express themselves a little bit more. And it's also sort of becoming a thing where it's like we don't put down men who want to express themselves. I think people are still like pretty homophobic, but like I think as far as men expressing themselves, it's getting better. And I think with that event, like I'm just
I just like
I feel so bad for boys.
I just wish like they would extend that courtesy to some of us who are not straight, because you know we could use that, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's still like kind of like South Korea, like, or Korea, wherever the fuck that was that you told me, like,
so
you know,
South Korea,
just
what's
Korea
the other Korea? North Korea?
No, I mean like, okay, shut the fuck up, you know what I meant, and shut up. So but I feel like it's like that where it's like, you know, you can kind of like touch each other, like y'all can like whatever, but
you can do the eyeshadow and the lipstick, and
but as long if you're gay though, like there's a serious problem and we will beat you the fuck up or kill you. So just watch yourself. Watch yourself just a smidge, because can't fuck with that. And I hate to see it because it's like a lot of y'all are like really, one thing I'm glad about when it comes to me and my identity is that like, because I was not, or I don't, that I'm not I'm not really around men like that, or like I'm not really in community with them. I feel like I'm more in touch with like how I feel about things, and I feel like I'm not really scared of emotions, and I'm not really afraid to like show how I feel. And I feel like a lot of gay men have that kind of advantage over straight men. Like we kind of like, and I feel like they hate us for that. Like we can kind of just like say how we feel about anything, and like
it's like Sabrina hating me for like wearing crop tops and like mom jeans.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, we can kind of say like how we feel about shit because, you know, niggas is like, you're gay, so we can kind of just like be freer than most of y'all, because y'all can't do shit without somebody got something to say. I mean, same with us, but like we just kind of have to, that's like our life existence. We just kind of have to like push past that and do us regardless. And like that's a harsh lesson that you have to learn, but I feel like we kind of have like a heads up when it comes to that, because really when you are comfortable in yourself, or you're comfortable with yourself enough to be yourself at all times, then there's really nothing like anybody could really tell you. Like you really got it in the bag.
It's all just about like freedom. And I think when society subconsciously like limits like your behaviors and your actions and what you can and can't do, to like the extent of just like, I can't even touch my friend, like, you know, it's just kind of like you're not really that free and you can't express, so like you're definitely repressed, and so that's like not good.
Bars. You're not free, so you can't express, so you're definitely repressed. It's definitely giving like Monroe's like slam poetry 2020.
Bars.
I like to see it. Maybe I'll do some slam poetry for us one.
I think we're good. Alicia, I think we're good.
You know, I just really like, you know, I can't stand. That's like the background noise for the. I know it was like kind of like this makeshift shit that I just did the last second. But I mean, whatever. You understand. You get it. Well, but anyways, I've got through everything that I want to talk about. What about you?
The episode was...
It was a mess.
It was a mess, but
it was a mess because of me. I just wanted to point that out. I'm a mess, but I'm a lovable mess, I think. I hope you like me. Please. But anyways, yeah, it was a mess because of me, but I still think that it was good, and I still feel like you should watch it, and you should tell your friends, and you should subscribe to the podcast, and you should also subscribe to SoundCloud, and
I know. Yeah,
but
no.
Yeah,
thanks for watching this. If you got through this, thank you.
If you got through this,
I love
really,
you.
like, you can have my heart and soul.
No, thank you for like the 10 subscribers that we have.
10 subscribers. Oh my god, it's like, hold on.
10 subscribers, 45 views, something like that.
I think we're famous.
I think we're like really famous. Like, I can't even like go out into the street anymore. They're like, oh my god, are you like Maya from
Are
like
you
Maya and Sam on the phone?
Are you Sam from the podcast? I love your hair.
I love the word. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so we're done. And
stay tuned. New episodes Wednesday, uploading at, I would say noon, but maybe not. But I think whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, all right.
Bye.